24/7 Sports. I'm Tom Loy alongside national analyst Cooper Patagnan. We've got some huge breaking news. Carrollton, Georgia, top 247 quarterback Julian Lewis has done what we kind of expected as of late, committed to the Colorado Buffaloes. This is a huge win for Deion Sanders. We all know that he loves that late near signing day surprise. He did it with Travis Hunter. He did it with Jordan Seaton, and now he does it with Julian Lewis. Cooper, share with everybody, share with the Buffalo fans as well. What are they getting in Julian Lewis?
Well, they're getting a winner. I mean, you talk about a guy at 36-3 in 3 years as a starter at Carrollton High School in Georgia, and one of the best pure pocket distributors in the entire country. A guy that's played a lot of high-level football at one of the most competitive conferences in all of high school football. So when you think about a guy that's really polished, being able to step in, maybe compete for a starting job, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I think Julian Lewis checks all those boxes. So this is a guy that we've been studying for a long time. We've had a lot of live exposure to him. You go back to last year in Atlanta on the UA Next circuit, Elite 11 regionals, Elite 11 finals. We've seen a lot in person. I think the mental makeup, just in terms of what you expect a guy to be able to handle the transition to college, I think he's going to be in a really good spot.
This is a guy that was committed to USC for a very long time. I believe August 22nd, 2023, opened up his process last week. Over the last couple of months, though, we've talked about Auburn. We've talked about Georgia a little bit. He was just there this past weekend. There was a lot of hype about Indiana, but they just couldn't get him back on campus at Bloomington. But again, huge win for Colorado. You brought it up just kind of quickly. Do you think that Julian Lewis has the ability to step in day one, take over for Shedeur Sanders, or do you see him as benefiting more as a guy that kind of wait and see, maybe give it a year?
Yeah, I think the latter for sure. I mean, I think if you're Colorado, I think the plan of attack is obviously you got your quarterback of the future in Julian Lewis, but you got to find a bridge year quarterback. I think those expectations for a guy that's still going to be 17 years old when he steps foot on campus in Boulder are a little bit high. And I think people would probably point to Ryan Williams. Totally different conversation, totally different player at a very different position, right? So we've seen players that we've quote unquote say, yeah, these guys are ready to play. Jackson Arnold, Dante Moore, Jaden Rashada, even Dylan Raiola. And you look at their freshman year, and a lot of these guys have gone to situations in Dante Moore, potentially Jackson Arnold, Jaden Rashada, where they're trying to get that redshirt year back. I think with Julian Lewis, if you're Colorado, you're surveying the land. Yeah, you got the right play caller in Pat Shurmur. You got the playmakers there. You got Jordan Seaton. You got some guys coming in on the offensive line. You feel good about that. But how do we put this young man in the best position to be successful? I still think a redshirt year, or even the way that Florida did it with Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway, don't put him in a position where he has to play early. Like, it's got to be one of those things where I think it's a little bit circumstantial. Maybe you can ease him into that, find a way to get some reps early in the season, play the 4 games, take the red shirt. And I think Julian Lewis got to look at that the same way, right? But I think Colorado has established themselves now under Deion Sanders, a legitimate Pac or a Big 12 contender, now vying for a playoff spot. It's going to be a really attractive situation to follow up Shedeur Sanders, and I think that's okay. Bring in the bridge guy, have Julian Lewis sit, learn for a year, get acclimated to the speed of the game. I think that would be the way that I would go, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that would be more beneficial. This is a guy that transitioned from 2026 up to 2025, going to be an early enrollee. So big pickup. I mean, he completed 78% of his passes, 2,800 yards this season, 40 touchdowns, 4 picks, extremely productive quarterback, very polished, a lot to like there. But as I said before, huge win for Deion Sanders in Colorado. And for all the latest in college football recruiting, especially with signing day right around the corner on December 4th, please, as always, stay locked to 247sports.com.